pinball in a board game. What is it? How does it play? What do we think of it? Coming up.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Meeple University. Today we are excited to talk about Super-Skill Pinball for Cade, the pinball game. So this game looks like a pinball. It literally plays like pinball machine, like you are playing a pinball machine.
Yes.
We're going to talk about briefly how does it play and what we think of it. Tarrant.
Yep. So this is it's a roll and write game. It's really 4 roll and write games in one using the same mechanic because there are 4 different pinball machines that you can play on, and each of them plays quite differently. Each machine has your main board or main table and then a scoreboard which might have some other things going on. So you'll start with a ball which goes on the start. You roll 2 dice. It's a very simple roll and write in that way, and you pick one of those numbers and play that on the board. And to play a number on the board, you essentially must move your ball to the next level down or one even further below that and fill in one of those numbers, or fill in a box that has one of those numbers on it. So from here up at the start with a 3 or a 4, I only have one choice. I can cross in the 3 and 4 there. This pen doesn't work.
Sorry, we left this pen. That particular pen didn't come with the game. We left our pen somewhere with our friends.
So I could fill in that one for a 3 or a 4. That's now here. Then I would roll them again for my next one. I can't stay because gravity is going to bring me down. So I could hit this bumper that has a 2 on it, or I could hit this bumper that has a 5 on it. Or if I really wanted to come down here, I could let the ball drop and hit 2 and 5. So I've got all these options. Let's say I hit the bumper, put a 2 in there. Bumper's worth a point, so I mark off a point.
Like in pinball game as well.
Like in pinball. And then I can roll again as they go off the page. It's a 1 and a 2. Bumpers have a special effect where you can bounce around as long as you roll numbers that are still visible, but if not, I keep going down and so on. Once you get down to the flippers, and there's a limited number of spaces on the flippers, you have to choose a flipper to go on, and then when you roll the dice...
Let's say you're from there, and then you roll that.
Yeah, okay, I'll demonstrate it. So let's say I took the 2, I went on the in lane onto the red flipper, which gives me 2 points, because that's what it says there. Then my next roll, I'm on the red flipper. I've got to jump up to a red or a white feature on the board. So once you get down to a flipper, you're limited to where you can go up. And you want to try to get back up to the very top of the board and then bounce as many things down as you can.
So you go there, you pick up 4.
So from the red flipper, I could hit the 4 bumper, or
you can go here.
I can go up the feat of strength with a 1, because I've got to fill this in from thing. And then so it's got all these sorts of features that pinball machines have.
And this actually, once you fill up the one with solid line with a white border, then you wipe it off.
And you erase them, yes. Yeah. So once you've got these 3 done, you get a bonus. In this case, it's a skill shot. And then you get to rub them out and start scoring them or getting that bonus again. There are some things on the board that have double lines, which you can only use once per game. And you've got to manage all of those bonuses. There's a couple of dice mitigation methods. So when you've got a skill shot, you could, at any subsequent roll, say, well, I want to pretend one of these dice is actually my skill shot number.
Yeah, you don't actually move it though, you just like change it yourself on your board. You can play with others.
Because everyone's playing the same numbers. And like a normal pinball machine, you can also try to nudge the board to move the ball where you want it.
That's amazing. At
the risk of tilting and losing your ball. And so that mechanic, say I really needed a 4, I would pretend that 3 were a 4, and I've nudged that by 1. And then the next time I roll, or the next time there is a roll, the difference between those numbers has to be equal to or greater than your nudge value. Otherwise you tilt. So if you nudge 1 and you get a double,
That's okay.
then that's the end of the round.
And you can only do it 3 times in a game.
In the game, yep.
So you market this, and that's it. And
yeah, that's the basic vibe of the game. Each of these boards has its own bonuses. They all have some element of multi-balls, so you can get into a situation where you've got multi-ball. And the rules for multi-ball are different for each table. But on this one, for example, all the points are doubled while you're in multi-ball mode. So you want to try to set yourself up to a position where you're about to score big points, and then you get into multi-ball and double those big points.
And speaking about the other boards, so
when you play multi-ball, one die goes to one ball and one goes to the other.
And also the dice. So speaking about other boards, so this is the other board. Is this the right way up?
Yep. So this is the Cyber Hack board. It's the Carnival one is the beginner one. The Cyber Hack board a little bit more advanced.
Yeah.
There's similar sorts of mechanics, but you can shoot off the yellow flipper up to these run mini bumpers, and the run bumpers will start a little mini game over here. And so this is actually, from a pinball standpoint, I know this doesn't look great on the camera, but it's like a pinball machine where you've got all the crazy stuff going on up at the top.
Yeah.
The main board. So Cyber Hack has this little mini game that gets triggered off the run.
And the next one?
Then the next one is there's the Dragon Slayer board. And the Dragon Slayer board has a lot of points that you can get every time. You've got points that you're generating, and then you've got the Horde boards. So every time you're getting a coin, you're building up points on Horde. You're not scoring those points immediately, but every time you drop the dragon targets, you score all of those points. And then that resets at the end of each ball.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you've got to
I have not played this part.
You've got to try to build that up as much as you can. And then the most advanced board is the Disco Fever board, or the Dance Fever board, sorry.
So this is the fourth one.
Yep. And you're almost constantly in a state of multi-ball on this. Almost every time you go back up, you can start a little mini multi-ball game over here. And so you'll be scoring points over here. You can trigger double points over here by hitting something over here. And you've also got one here where the points you've got a boogie bonus when you drop these, and the points are going up every time doubles get rolled. And you've got to time it correctly. So yeah, that's pretty much the overview of the game.
And what do you think, Darren?
Well, I think it is. It's a very strange one, and I'll do my best to explain why that's the case. It's more so than any other roll and write game. It's basically fully individual. You're playing alongside each other and playing the same dice, but there's no interaction between players at all. You don't even finish your ball at the same time. So it's in that way almost more of a solo activity than it is a game, but then a competitive game. But then at the same time, as we had 4 people sitting around playing Dance Fever, and we were all hoping for doubles, so our boogie bonuses got up, and we were all sort of invested in what each other's games were doing. So it ended up being, despite how solitary that was, it ended up actually being a reasonably fun activity for everyone sitting around. It's complex. It took...
This Dance Fever one, not the Carnival one.
Even the Carnival one, it's tough to immediately pick it up. It's definitely not as intuitive as your typical roll and write game. It took everyone at the table, because we had 4 people playing dance and 4 people playing
Carnival.
Creepy Clown.
No, it's Carnival.
Carnival. And it took the whole first ball for people to get the flow of it, and not everyone liked it. But those of us who hung on, we did find it to be a fun activity, and working through maximising the points and playing the dice that came up. I mean, like a normal, you won't have a good score versus a bad score for a certain set of dice rolls. You're your score is going to be based on whatever dice come up.
It plays a really good solo game. That's, however, it plays really solo games. So nothing has changed, I believe. If you play solo, you just keep rolling, and then you go to the next round straight away. You don't have to wait for anyone. You just rolling straight away. So I think it makes really good solo games, which I enjoy. That's basically what you when you play pinballs as well, right?
Yeah.
I do like playing pinball. So the good thing is that this is, it feels like you're playing pinball. You go up and down, so the ball goes down like in Gravity, like in pinball. We're actually playing pinball machine not long after we played this game, so that was interesting. I was like, oh yeah, this, like, it's like when you're stuck in a bumper, you get the points, and you go down, you go up, the flippers. So that part is a really resembling playing pinball very well. As Tarrant say, it is a more of a solo game, solo activity, so I can see myself playing this solo and trying to see what score I have. The 4 different type of board is great. So the varieties, you go, like, ideally you go from the easy one to the more complex one. It is not as simple as I thought. I thought it would be like a really quick, like, it does take a few, like, some time to learn the game at the start, because I don't know, it's like, if you expect that it'll be like really quick because it's pinball, but there's a few decisions that you need to make. But so as long as you know what to expect and that sort of game, it actually is a good game for me anyway. So I enjoy playing this because it is, once I know what's going on, it's not that complex. The clown one anyway, you say the creepy clown, the carnival one, and it's like playing pinball. So I enjoy playing pinball, so I enjoy playing that.
Yeah, I agree. And this sort of brings me back to why I said it was a strange one, is that there's nothing really else out there like it. More so than most roll and writes, the dice are dictating to you rather than you setting up a strategy and working to the dice. But it's fun, and it captures the essence of pinball really well. Like, if it's set out to reflect a pinball game, it did an extremely good job. And so, it's a game that I'm not sure I would recommend to many people, because I think it is so niche, but I really like the way it's designed and I enjoy playing it.
So there you go. If you know somebody who likes to play pinball, if you like to play pinball, this is probably the game for you. I know that we've got a friend that has pinball machine, and I think we should recommend it to him. So that is the pinball game. So it is a long name. So Super-Skill Pinball for Cade. There you go. So that we think. So last verdict is we enjoy it. It might not be for everybody. You gotta know what you're gonna know what you're gonna do. This is bit of a learning curve, I guess. It's not as quick as maybe it looks because it's pinball, but it is an interesting and resembling pinball very well.
Yeah.
So hopefully you find this useful. If you you have any questions, write in the comment sections below, or if you have played this, let us know what you think and what's your favorite theme. And hit the like button. That will really help us. And if you haven't already done so, help us by subscribing to us, Meeple University, and hit the bell so you will get notification from us. We do live playthrough on the weekends, or me as well, randomly sometimes. We do reviews, how to play, and so on. We are also on social media as well, mainly me on social media. Find me on Instagram, we'll chat there as well. And hopefully we'll see you in our next videos. Bye!
Bye!